Good morning, pregame crew. It is Friday, October 1st, 2021, 6:20 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:20 a.m. Eastern. Audio visual check, please. How are we doing? Good morning, Judd. You're up and early. Hey, Jason, the real Jason, Night Truck, and yes, he absolutely should do comedy. Veronica, Roger, Daniel, and Chuck. There he is. Thank you for being here on a Friday morning. We've had a wonderful week. I would say wonderful as a pregame crew and just getting better every day together. Y'all ask great questions. I appreciate it. I learn from you just as much as you learn from me, and I appreciate you being here. If you're new, you have found yourself at the pregame crew, with the pregame crew at the pregame show, and we talk markets. We're going to get ready for this Friday. Friday spelled F-R-Y-D-A-Y, because Fridays can sometimes fry a trader. We are at the beginning of October. Yesterday was end of quarter. It's funny, I have a calendar reminder, end of quarter window dressing. I always have a note. And yesterday we had lots of selling in the beat up names like Roku and Zoom, and it's interesting to see them up so much this morning. So just remember, there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we will not always understand, but timing of the month, the quarter, the week, monthly OpEx, quad witching, those are all nice things to add to your toolkit to understand and know. Date says September 30th. Oh, it does. Sorry. I don't know if Jason can change that, but that's all right. Matthew, you're here. It's October 1st. You're at the right day, the right show. Hey, Greg. Hey, Skillet. Hey, Cap and Ron, Philip, Yosemite, Sean, Jorge, Ramon, Armin. Thank you. We will officially get started in 8 minutes. If you're interested in my chart setup, it's on the screen now. And I just like to squeeze in a couple requests before I officially get started, and then a couple requests at the end. So I am tending to your needs, your specific needs. So if y'all have any questions right now, let me know. Hey, Cap and Ron from Houston. Okay, I know who you are from Twitter now. My parents' house, I was raised 4 hours from Houston, so that's where we had to go to the airport. So CEI is definitely one of those volatile names that we can continue to scalp as a day trader. Investing in this company up here, I wouldn't comment to the fundamentals. It's a heavily pumped name by people like Zach Morris, who has 500,000 followers on Twitter. And I just get very, what's the right word? I don't trust people like that. So it could be an hourly bear flag. So caution, here are your key levels for the day. Resistance 394, 437, support 325, 289. So at TCG, how we trade this is we look for tightening patterns. So we look for stair-step patterns, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, higher lows, equilibriums, inside bars. That's how we trade names like this, to just get the scalps out of them. Because again, is the word wary? If you're wary, like you're, yes, wary, W-A-R-Y. That's the word I was thinking about. I'm wary of names that are pumped like this. What was the name I saw this morning? This guy, he pumps names that have very low liquidity. And you just have to be aware of it. You have to look at the volume. Look at this name here, BMRA. He is telling everyone, just watch this. I'm entering. And then look at this liquidity. He did it yesterday too. 31,000 is the average volume. So pretty much, again, anyone in TCG could manipulate this name. 31,000 shares times $4. That's $120,000 of volume in a day. And look how they're pumping it. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to hand it off to you. So when they tell you they're buying, they actually are selling to you. So just be aware of what Twitter universe is and how they use retail investors who don't know any better, or Yep, that's what I mean, Crypto. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm Chark Al Lori. What else y'all got? Wary, leery, mistrustful. Yes, Chris, thank you. My vocabulary is limited at 6:25 in the morning. Hey, Sean. Hey, Winston from Australia. Hey, Crypto Moves. Good morning. Good job, Captain Ron. Okay. That's interesting for uranium. We have a whole uranium channel. So if uranium is what floats your boat. Oh, where did my Slack go? If uranium is what floats your boat, we have a whole channel dedicated to commodities and a separate one for uranium. We have crypto alts, marijuana, crypto Bitcoin, and wow, what a night for Bitcoin. I don't want to have that name on my screen and people think that I'm talking about that name. That would be horrendous. So, okay, someone asked me about Piton. Okay, let's talk about Piton. Okay, Piton, someone was just pointing this out in the room. This is a stair-step pattern. And Dan has a video on a stair-step pattern that I absolutely recommend that you watch. Daily is oversold. Weekly is not oversold. We're at 39. 80.48 is the key support that must hold. So if we go look at this on the hourly, we have a little bit of an EQ, not a confirmed EQ, but 87.90 is the level. And if you could buy around 86.09 and it hold, it could be a potential good bottom fish. And bottom fish, we talk about this all the time. When you are looking at a name that's in a very strong downtrend and you are buying the dip, you have a high probability of getting stopped out because what's in motion tends to stay in motion. It's just physics. The trend is down. But when we can catch the bottom of that trend, the risk reward, it can be exponential and your stop is nearby. So I like names where the stop is nearby for people with small accounts because that way if you get stopped out, it's just a paper cut. It's not like a big wound. So, but remember, you're going to have a lower probability or a lower win rate overall, and you have to let these run. You have to get greater gains. You got to get something like risk is 1 to 4 or 5 if you're going to have a lower win rate but higher reward. I hope that makes sense. That's a lot of math this time in the morning, you know. But I like to set up for a potential bottom fish. Again, high risk of getting stopped out, but good name. Zoom's making a move. Yeah, I have some Zoom. I reported in the room that we had some unusual call activity and I traded it and I posted my entry. I got calls down here at $1.15. I sold most of them for $2.40, posted entries, exits, and setup. So just because I see unusual activity, that doesn't float my boat. It makes me go look at the name and I'm like, oh, look at this squeeze. 15-minute squeeze. We had a tightening pattern. So I entered in here and it made sense because Zoom was so beat down. You can sell, take it off your books, and then rebuy today. Lots of games like that are played. So yeah, I like Zoom. I don't trust these wicks when they happen at the broker open, so I don't always mark them up. I trust that 269.50 as a support more, but yeah, Zoom could be a good name today. So just remember, we're always looking for a setup. We don't buy blindly. We don't short blindly. We wait for levels and setups, levels and setups. We don't just shoot. We have to aim. We have to get a setup. The deer has to turn broadside. We have lots of things that have to line up for the trade to take place. Back to ES. One more. Oh, a couple. Let's see. AMC had a beautiful move yesterday, a little squeezy. Now we have a nice tightening pattern. Here are your levels. We could stay inside bar all day because look at the size of that range. The size of that range is what, about a 24% move yesterday? So we could stay inside all day or we could blast off. So for a swing, if you got an entry close to 33.74, sure. If you don't have an entry close to 33.74, I would be scaling out a little bit and getting more into profit. So your stop is closer by, stop close by, stop close by. Y'all getting the hint now. All right. It is 8:30 Eastern. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and you are at the pregame show. I am part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. We have beautiful channels and beautiful people where we give setups, what we see. Now, we are not always pushing fish in your mouth. We give you a fishing pole and we teach you how to hold it, how to jerk, set the hook. Sometimes we put a depth finder over the water and say the fish are right underneath. We're constantly helping people become consistently profitable traders to buy that ultimate priceless gift, which is freedom. Freedom from the man. So what we do every morning is I go over the indices, crypto, commodities, and movers and shakers of the day. It typically lasts 20 to 25 minutes. It's Friday. I'm feeling relaxed. So I'm going to take my time, go through the names, and if I go over a little bit, then TCGers, feel free to hop over and listen to Jason this morning. He goes live at 9 a.m. Eastern, but I will go as long as I need to get these names covered. All right, so story of the day. Does anybody want to type out what the story of the day is? I mean, forget what I have here, but you know what it is. It's Apple. It is Apple. And is it going to be like this every day? I don't know. But when Apple is in a precarious situation, we have to constantly point out that it is in a precarious situation. But for ES, good move, Mr. Market. Now prove it with hourly trend change. It is my thesis that, and I've learned this from Dan, to look for correlations, look for laggards, look for canary in the coal mine. I called it a bellwether this morning. 1 second. Sorry, my fishing analogy may have not had the right words in it, but you know, I'm a Louisiana girl, so this is just the way it is. So Bitcoin had this huge move, and we are constantly looking for correlations and laggards. That's one of our major edges that we teach in Chart Guys. And so Bitcoin led the way this morning. This bounce got going. We had this big EQ on the daily. We had a bull break up and over 44,366. We were positioned well in the room. And I'd like to point out that we have a squeeze on the daily and we've crossed over the 50 RSI. Now, what's missing in this formula? If this is a recipe for bull heaven, what has to go in the pot for the recipe? We need bull volume. RSI over 50, a squeeze, get up and over the EMAs. So we got to get up and over that daily 50 EMA, and we need volume for this recipe to really cook well for the bulls. Your next resistance, 48825. And I would actually say this is the story of the day. I posted in the room this morning, Dan posted about the Bitcoin breakout. I posted, hey, this may be our bellwether for the market. And I got positioned very well in ES futures for this bounce. We're getting a nice lower wick. Nice lower wick on that daily now and on the 4 hour. So no matter, this bull move is gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. It's so pretty, but we need hourly trend changes. It doesn't matter until you confirm trend changes. You always have to hold people accountable for your money. You're putting money into the market with your hard-earned dollars. They have to continue to earn it. We don't blindly trust because they bounce. No. It's just like that boyfriend that's cheated on you. This boyfriend has been cheating every day. This boyfriend has to prove himself. Not just, oh, I'm better and I'm reformed. No, you have to prove that you're not going to cheat on me anymore. So we just don't blindly accept it. And we do that through hourly trend changes. And my chart setup is on the screen now. I'm going to delete it. If you want it, you can kind of rewind and screenshot it. And as I mentioned yesterday, I don't always use these indicators for day trading. I like to simplify my chart and really focus on price action, but I like using the indicators for larger time frames to just give me a snapshot of the chart. What I'm noticing on ES is this hourly rounded bottom. And there will be someone to say, is it a cup and handle? Cup and handles are continuation patterns where you have an uptrend, you get a rounded bottom, a bull flag, and then you continue. This is not that. This is a rounded bottom, however, which means slow and steady turning of the ship by the bulls. So this ship is going south, and then the bulls say, not so fast, bears, and they slowly turn the ship northerly, and that's what's happening now. And that's a good, slow and steady. That is more confidence in the pattern, because otherwise this could be just a bear flag. So we look for volume and we look for depth of pullbacks and the height of bounces. We're constantly judging all of this data to figure out what's the most likely scenario on the right side of the screen. So this hourly rounded bottom gives me a lot of confidence in what's going on with ES. But I don't blindly trust. I would prefer a bull flag. The depth of this pullback will tell us a lot about what's going on. Will it most likely be an EQ? If we EQ out all day, what does that mean? They're going to burn premium. So the premium sellers win if we have an EQ the rest of the day. If it's a bull flag, option buyers could have a good day. But this is some decent volume that proves that the bulls actually showed up and they're not just phoning it in. But we don't have a real clear support after this big move until down at 42.71 for ES. So I will be watching Bitcoin on one screen all day long because Bitcoin was my bellwether today saying, hey, watch the markets. They could be going up. And it also could be a canary in the coal mine, bellwether, whatever you want to call it, for potential downside when Bitcoin starts to consolidate. So I will be watching both of those. NASDAQ, those levels are from the 4 hours. So let me give you from the hourly. In the 15-minute, do we have any support? Yeah, we got a little bit of support here. So we're getting some bear volume coming in. That's okay. They got to come back a little bit, take a breather, go to the bench. The bulls get a towel, wipe their face, get some water, take a rest. But we want them to take their rest on the EMA benches. So think of the EMA as a basketball bench or a football bench, whatever your analogy works for you. And they have to come back, sit on the bench and take a breather. Now, if they fall off the bench and they go below the EMAs, then we got a bigger problem and this could be a bigger pullback. So I would prefer to see them hold at least the 8 and 21 EMA when they take their break. That way they can jump right back on the field and take it higher. So how we consolidate tells you so much more. This is pretty funny. I never thought about this, but in Orange Theory, they tell you when you run and you do the all out, how you come back to base tells you more about your endurance, your body's conditioning, than it does the actual push or the run, how you return to base. And that tells us a lot more about the market, how we consolidate versus how we run. How we run can get squeezy. It could be bears covering with a combination of bulls, buying the dip a little bit. But how we recover tells us much more than how we run. All right, so you got those supports and resistances. You can rewind a little bit. I deleted them too fast. RTY, we're running into the underside of an hourly 50 EMA downtrending. Typically that's SOTIMA, slope of the EMA. When it's pointing down, it can cause rejections. Initially, doesn't mean it'll hold all day. Okay, so here you go, bulls, prove it to me. How are we going to consolidate? What does the volume look like? So volume, what does it look like? And the depth. How shallow is the pullback or how deep is the pullback? Those two things tell me a lot about what my Friday is going to look like. Dow. Okay, Dow looked a little bit weaker to me than the rest. So let's go get a support. Okay, so there's your support levels and your resistance levels. I'm super focused on ES with that rounded bottom on the hourly and NASDAQ today. NASDAQ will tell us, are we heading higher, sideways, or down? We've got 3 options. It's not just up or down. Sideways is a direction. All right, Bitcoin. Beautiful move. Got a little high of the spike now, a little hourly inside bar. Same thing goes for Bitcoin. The depth of how we pull back and what that volume looks like will tell us a lot about what our day is going to look like. So use it for clues and don't disregard those clues if they don't match up with your thesis. If we get high bear volume coming in and we get a 50% pullback, don't just say, oh, I'm all bullish Bitcoin. No, that tells you something. The bulls have not taken complete control yet. So just remember that. Ethereum. Gang wars, yep. And remember, I don't monitor the chat room. I can't do that and look at charts. So the mods will get you covered if you have any questions, and I'll go back in the chat room after I'm done with this Chartapalooza. All right, so on Ethereum, here are your resistances and your support. Nice breakout. Let's get you a 15-minute support. 3107. We need everything to stay nice and healthy and contained. That's my favorite word, like contained. Make sure that the bears aren't just running rampant with it and they just drag it down. Gold. Y'all are going to want gang war analogies all day, every day, aren't y'all? Okay, so weekly, we got this trade yesterday. If you took this trade, type it in the chat room. That was really fun yesterday, this weekly higher low bottom fish. It was one of my best trades of the day yesterday. So we came back, we tested that 1721. I had about a 1725 average. Talked to y'all about it. I sold at 1759, I believe. And then I bought back around 1755 because the consolidation was just sideways, which told me this is bullish. This is super bullish, this pullback on gold, because it's sideways. Let's measure the depth actually. The 0.382, I don't know if you can see that, is at 1748.50. So as long as we have candle closes on the hourly or 4 hour above 1748, this is healthy consolidation. So let's verify what I've been telling you all morning. Is the bear volume contained? Yep. Is the depth and the pullback, I got to come up with a better word. The percentage pullback, is it healthy, about a third? Yep. So right now gold's positioned very well. Oil. Yesterday we talked about this 4 hour EQ. Then it pulled back a little more than I'd like. It's just basically what I'm saying is oil is super volatile. We have rig count at 10:30 Central, I believe. Please confirm that. Baker Hughes rig count. If you trade oil, you need to know that. I don't absolutely need to know that. I'm not in an oil position, but we had a large range yesterday, super large range for oil, $3. Today, we're opening up literally right in the middle of it. Yep, right in the middle of it. Odds favor an inside bar today. So I don't want to get chopped up. My life, life is hard enough already. I don't want to trade oil if I'm going to get an inside bar today. So that's the most likely scenario. If you're in a trade, I'll give you levels. I won't leave you hanging. Or maybe I won't give you levels. Okay. So there's your support and resistance if you are trading oil. Apple. Okay, so I tweeted out this morning. I get kind of silly on Fridays, I guess. But Apple breaking that 141.27, which if you don't know that already, you should already have a tattoo with that. If you don't, I'm disappointed in you. I want to see those tattoos of 141.27. But we didn't break it yesterday. This was a great bottom fish opportunity for SPY, NASDAQ, and Apple. Double bottom. However, we broke it this morning. But for me, this is kind of like making an F in 8th grade, in middle school. Yeah, you shouldn't have made it an F, and I'm going to take your phone. You might get a spanking, kidding. But that's not good. But it doesn't really count in the big scheme of things. It's not going on your high school transcript. So no big deal. Get back up over 141.28 during regular trading hours, which is what I care about. And then we're back Gucci, all right? So this morning it looked terrible, and I'm like, oh no, please get back over 141.27 because I depend so much. I look to Apple because of their market size, because they control so much of NASDAQ, SPY, and Dow. They're in all, it's in all three. So as long as we get back up and over 141.27, I will give their phone back to them and they won't be punished, all right? So this is, again, a middle school F, like making an F in middle school, not good. But in the big scheme of things, it's not going to affect your future. So get back up and over and no Fs in high school, i.e. regular trading hours. So that was all mapped out with levels. I like Apple to the long side, but again, I have that same feeling that I had last Friday, meaning got to get a little move going in the morning, and the best lotto could be midday and buy a pullback for a higher low. And I'm still going to count this pre-market level. I want a higher low compared to that, but I have a little caveat. I need you to hold 141.27 when you do it. So bounce up. So I'll say this a lot slower because it's clear in my brain, but sometimes it's hard to get it all out. 141.27 is the level, okay? That becomes the level. So if I need an hourly higher low, which is higher low compared to 140.53, but I'm holding you to a different standard, Apple. You have to hold 141.27. And then I would love a lotto call buy, and I will be watching market internals. I need plus 600 sustained ticks, and I need VIX to sit down. I'm looking at you, VIX. Sit down. We need the VIX to calm down, or none of the bullish setups are going to work unless it's a VIX setup. So VIX needs to sit down. Okay, here is our trade of the month for September, literally on the last day of the month, the best trade of the pregame show, Queen of the Mountain work. So I told y'all yesterday, I don't like small caps. I probably wouldn't be trading this, but I I started with small caps and commodities. So sometimes I have a little PTSD from losing money at the beginning with small caps. So I tend to avoid them. However, I will revert back to them when the market is unclear. So yesterday, Apple was holding that low. So I really couldn't go short on technology names because Apple was holding that key level, but they gave me no reason to go super long. So then I'm like, forget you. I'm going to go to names that can be money badgers and are not clearly are directly tied to the market. ATER is not heavily weighted in ETFs. It's not the tide raises all boats or lowers all boats with the market. So it could do its own thing. So that's why I went to ATER. So I just want you to understand I got pushback yesterday. Well, Lori, you said you weren't going to trade it. Well, I wasn't going to trade it if I had beautiful Apple or Netflix or Tesla, which I did trade a little bit yesterday. But midday, I didn't have anything going on. And I'm like, oh, crap, look at that. It's getting right close to that 914, which was interesting. We had this 910 and after hours level that it held. Look at that beautiful double bottom and a daily EQ. And I posted the setup yesterday. I posted my exits. And we got a 30% move in one day. That's like a drop the mic moment. That was amazing. It was just beautiful. It was fun. I love trading with my friends. I absolutely love it. So key resistance. Nope, not that. It's getting a little move on this morning. Again, it can disconnect from the market. So I like that. I was actually looking for an inside day earlier this morning, but now because we're closing opening closer to the resistance, we could get a bull break or a double top rejection. So ATER, wait for tightening ranges, stair step patterns, high low bar. You get the picture. BBBY, still beat up. Top fish bounce setup, downgrades galore. So we know with a bear flag on higher time frames, it can look like this. And this is drawn out on lower time frames and get little higher highs with very little follow through. So we got a short on this one yesterday. I followed John's charts. He posted a setup and I liked it. And when I say follow, I don't follow anyone blindly, not even my man Dan. I go look at the setup myself and it has to meet my criteria. But this looks like a 4-hour bear flag. It's pretty beat up, so we have to be careful with our shorts because the RSI is so beat up, we could have bears continue to cover and make it bounce a little bit. But $17.71 and $18 are top fishing levels, support $17.06. This could set up for nice shorts midday. Again, not everything's opening range. Okay, coin is on the run because of Bitcoin. So it rejected right here at this level, 240.16, and it literally hit 240.12 this morning. So it's on the run. It is not up as much as Riot and Mara, but this could have some nice day trading opportunities. So when I type all this up for y'all, I am saying day trading volatility in this name. Look for EQs, look for high of low bar, look for stair step, look for back burner trades. We've got lots, that's misspelled, trades, 2 A's. But y'all get the picture. This should have a lot of volatility, not always necessarily up to the upside, but I like this name. Generac got an upgrade. So this name has been a huge outperformer. We are coming out of hurricane season, but it's had a great run into hurricane season. And we have higher highs and higher lows on the weekly. We are looking for a higher low compared to 385. This is a swing idea. So this may be a nice bottom fish opportunity and put your stop right below 395 for a potential swing. Generac's been an outperformer, slightly risky because we are coming out of hurricane season, but I like this name. Love Southwest, upgrade to $70, hourly higher low potential setup, meaning that we could look, I don't like using this, I'm not going to use that. But we could look for an hourly higher low bottom fish setup to possibly trade this to the long side because, I mean, the airlines and travel, they've been holding up better than most. This is not a bad looking chart. We're looking for that daily higher low, got a $70 upgrade. I really pay attention to the levels. So $70 is quite, what is that, 40%? 40% above the current price. That's a pretty big upgrade. Mar, another travel name, hourly oversold, daily higher low attempt, and it had an upgrade. So do y'all see that? Why is this on the list? Because it's in an outperforming sector. We have a technical setup and news. So the three together make for ideal setups for day trades. Look for the high and low bar, look for back burner trades, look for EQ. So I like this name to the long side and these are all Queen of the Mountain ideas. I will tell you one of my favorite setups as we go along, but these are all tradable ideas for today. Mara, I'm looking Bitcoin breakout, day trading volatility in this name. I'm looking for EQs, high and low bar, back burner trades. You can see I copied that from the other one because I misspelled trades. It's bothering me. I can't do it. Can't do it. That was painful to watch me do that, huh? All right, so this has some nice day trading volatility. And if you're a consistently profitable trader, you should be able to come into this room and I give you a name. You're like, okay, I know what to do with that. I know what my trading style is. So I'm going to wait for this to set up according to my rules and how I like to take setups, where you look for the 5-minute high or low, or you get a lower high and get an EQ pattern. You bottom fish, put your stop there. You should know what trade setup works for you, and you take these ideas and run with it with your style. I'm super impressed with this news and this, whatever your stance is on vaccine and COVID medicines, yada, yada, nothing political whatsoever. I'm so apolitical. But this is really big news. COVID, some type of pill that could reduce death and hospitalizations by 50%. Yes, please. So this name it has its run. So how do we trade it now? This is my Queen of the Mountain. So I'm going to go through the pain of drawing out these candles. And for you pregame crew, y'all seen this a million times. And it's a stair-step pattern, but I don't require the number of candles. I'm just looking for a high and low bar. And I put my stop below the low of that low bar. And I'm looking for some type of setup like this. If it's just going to break out and run, then I'm going to wait for the RSI to come back to 50, either on the 2-minute or 5-minute, and I'm going to wait for some type of pullback. I can't just blindly enter here. Let's see, what's the RSI? 10-minute, it's cooling off pretty well actually, but the 15-minute RSI is 77. We typically get some pullback opportunity, and I look for the high of low bar either on the 2-minute or the 5-minute. This has potential to be a really nice lotto trade on a pullback. If you buy at open, you're going to overpay for premium most likely and get burned. I can't recommend that. So be smart about it, but I like this name. This is a dangerous name, MSTR. Okay, now it's finally moving. This morning it was a laggard trade to Mara and Riot that were up 7%. This thing was up like not even 1%. So you had an opportunity to buy this dip. I did. When my broker opened, so I'm up a little bit on MSTR. This could be explosive today, but it's already had its move. So you really have to do that high of low bar, all of that shenanigans. I'm done playing this one with options. I won't touch the options ever again. The spreads are too wide, the premiums are too high, but I will trade it with common. So this has some day trade volatility that you could use. Okay, Netflix, I got out of it yesterday on the open because let me show you why, and I posted why. These upper wicks of profit taking, that just showed me that the bulls were getting tired. So I exited up here. I had this on my list all week, so I just wanted to close the loop on it. I'm not day trading this today. I'm not going to short it because it's such a beautiful breakout, but the bulls look tired to me, especially with that upper wick of profit taking, so I'm backing away. So I just want you to know I'm closing the loop on that. We traded it all week and it was good to us. NEO, multiple daily inside bars. We are breaking the inside bars, so what you would look for is this 36.36. A pull back to that area would be ideal for a potential long entry. So I don't like entering when we already have the bull break and pre-market. I need for a setup to happen. So high of low bar, pull back to a key area, then get the 2-minute high or low. So if it pulls back to 35.98, that may be too much of a pullback to work. So 36.36, 36.35 area could be a nice area for an explosive move on NEO with double daily inside bars, breaking bull. Upgrades galore, 4-hour potential bull flag. It could be a midday high or low attempt. Why do I say that? Because we have this bull flag here and it went nuts. It may need to take a breather this morning and then midday get some giddy up. So I like PAYX for potential midday bullish trade. Tesla, multiple daily inside bars. I'm really focused. This is my Queen of the Mountain with Merck. Merck, Tesla, and up. Those are my top 3 setups for the day. Doesn't mean Queen of the Mountain's going to work, but they're the setups. Okay, so these levels are mapped out from the daily. And you're like, Lori, what are those levels? You're cutting through price bars. Well, they're the daily, the largest time frame, which matters the most. So now let's go intra-day and after hours. Let's get some more levels. So here are your levels for Tesla. So I would love a high and low bar setup and get a lotto. I actually have some Tesla to the long side, which was pretty risky the way we closed yesterday. Let's see how it plays out. But look at this hourly squeeze, 4-hour squeeze, daily squeeze, the black dots, weekly squeeze. Y'all got it? Y'all got the picture? This is my lotto pick of the day. Okay, now here's the interesting one. If you follow me on Twitter, this is an interesting setup. Now, this doesn't really remind me of ATR because remember, ATR had a daily EQ, so that's strength. This is testing black dirt breakdown, so it's different. It's very different. This morning, CNBC reported record number of travelers now flying on private jets. It's a bottom fish of the all-time low setup, and it has this daily stair step. Look at this stair step. Can I count that much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. 12 bars daily higher low setup. So daily stair step, looking for that first candle to break the high, which it is, looks like 678. It will. So then you wait for some type of pullback in this pre-market action, some type of pullback. And it looks like the spreads are pretty wide. Watch this one first. Don't ever jump into a name until you see how it trades. This one could be a little dangerous. I was watching the spreads this morning and these wickety wick, a little scary, but we have enough volume liquidity wise that it should work as far as you being able to get in and out, but you got to wait for setup, high of low bar, EQ, stair step, yada yada. But I wouldn't do a back burner on this. But this is an interesting setup. They're always on College Game Day every Saturday. So very interesting setup on up, Queen of the Mountain. SPY. Excuse all that. I'm going to have to start over because I did too much graffiti. Okay, so on the hourly, what we need SPY bulls to do is come back and hold the low of pre-market 42610, which you really got to look at it on ES. On ES, you got to hold 4260 on a pullback, and then let's see what you got, bulls. QQQ. Again, NQ will be much better as far as levels, but that'll get you started. Now, what do you need? You get, MSTR is painful, absolutely painful. I won't touch it again with options. Dan was watching because it had a stair step beat down, just everything just beat down on it. Let me give you levels. I have zero interest in this name. Zero. Like less than zero, because I just don't like how it trades. Dan's not trading this one either because of the liquidity and spreads. Okay, mRNA. Hey, Peanuts from Minnesota, how you doing? mRNA, the vaccine names are getting killed, so we are shifting back to reopening trades. So the whole mindset of the market is we're more interested in reopening trades like travel names, and the vaccine names, it's like they're just like dusting their hands of them. However, we do have a daily inside bar, and we have broken through the low of that. I don't know. I can't tell you to do puts when we're in the hole this much. You're already down 5%. Look at the RSI, 24 on the hourly. 4-hour RSI, 26. No, you're shortening the hole. I like meat on the bone. Give me meat on the bone. This ain't meat on the bone. However, if you would get a bounce back up to that 377 area, yesterday's low could act as resistance. That could be an area to short. Yeah, hit that like button, please. And hit the subscribe button, please. All right. Oh, thank you, Davy baby. And Davy, congratulations. I saw your message. I won't tell your business, but congratulations. Great month. All natural. He's got everybody sorted out. All right, I'm going to go for the day. We're going to have fun today, and we're going to be protective. We're not going to give anything back from the year, and we're going to start off our October right. So just picture yourself on Halloween Day. That's my birthday, by the way. On Halloween Day, how do you want to feel? How did you trade this month? Let's visualize how we want our month to look like, and let's trade accordingly. All right, you stop losses, y'all.